Hi everyone, this is the Math 10C Exponents and Radicals review, and this is short answer 29. For this first video, again, I'll do half the questions here. I'll do the first column, and then on a subsequent video, I'll do the remaining column here. We're going to take each entire radical and write it as an equivalent mixed radical. Now, what I've been encouraging people to do with this is to use prime factorization because it's a tool that you learn early on. It applies here. Use it. So 180, we would write that, if you wanted to, that it would look like this. This would be 18 times 10. I think that's the most obvious way to rip that apart here. 18, okay, is going to be 9 times 2, so 2 times 3 times 3. 10 is going to be 2 times 5. So there's my prime factorization. It would help me if I wrote it in order, so 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. And now, because this is a square root, that pair of 2's is going to give me a 2 out front. That pair of 3's is going to give me a 3 out front. The 5 had no partner, so it stays underneath the radical, and that's as good as it's going to get. And now I just got to simplify that. And so my answer is going to be 6 root 5. Okay. We do the same thing with 108. 108 is going to be 9 times 12. So now we'll come down here. I can already tell you that 12 is going to be is 4 times 3, and 4 is just going to be 2 times 2. So that 12 is going to be 2 times 2 times 3. I'm just doing that so the 2's come out front here. And then multiplying by 9, there's going to be 3 times 3. So here we go. 2 2's and 3 3's. Again, we're talking about a square root, so we take a pair. The 2's becomes a single 2 out front. Pair of 3's becomes a single 3 out front, and then there's a 3 here that I can't do anything with, so it kind of just stays there, and so I'm left with 6 root 3. Now notice these are all multiplied together, they're not added. Okay, this is all multiplication. This next one, cube root of 750. Well, 750 I think is clearly going to be 75 times 10. So now this is going to be the cube root of, okay, well, 75 is going to be 25 times 3. I'll deal with that in a second. 10 is going to be 2 times 5. So here's the 2. From the 75, I'm going to grab that 3. There was a 5 from the 10. And when I took the 3 out of the 75, that left me with a 25, which is just 5 times 5. Now, you don't have to think it through like that. I'm sure you've got a method for doing prime factorizations, but this is where ultimately we want to get to. With a cube root, I'm looking for a triplet, and I can see that there are 3 5's there, so I'll write a single representative of that outside. I can't do anything with the 2 or the 3. I'm stuck with them, so I'll just multiply those together, and we get 5 times the cube root of 6. Okay, next question. Cube root of 81. Now the nice thing about this is 81 is just going to be 9 times 9. So this is the cube root of 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, that one works out really nicely here. We've got a triplet right there with an extra one that I can't take out, so I'll take a single 3 out, but I'm left with a 3 under the cube root, so 3 cube root of 3. Okay, now 486. Right off the top of my head, I actually don't know how to break apart 486. So first thing that I would think to do with that is divide that by 2. So I'm going to have to walk through this one. 2 times 243. Now I recognize 243, but let's talk about it. Notice it's not divisible by 2, so I'm done with the 2's here. But 243 is divisible by 3, and when I divide that by 3, I get 81. And we just did 81, right? So I know that there's now going to be 4 more 3's here. It's a square root, so I'm looking for pairs. There's a pair there, a pair there. So I'm going to write a single 3 out front for that first pair, another 3 out front for that second pair, and then I'm left with 2 times the 3 inside there that don't have any pairs. They're kind of stuck with them. So out front is going to be 9, and then underneath the radical will be 6. Okay, now finally in this little column right here for this video, we're going to take a look at the square root of 112. And again, 112, actually I'm not 100% sure, But 112 can be written as 2 times, now it's 2 times 56, okay? And 56 is going to be 8 times 7, or 2 times 2 times 2. There's my 8 times 7. Square root tells me to look for pairs. I've got a pair of 2's there, a pair of 2's, so I'm going to write a single for that pair, a single for that pair, and then I'm stuck with the 7 underneath. I can't do anything with it. And so this becomes 4 root 7. Okay, and I will do those other ones shortly.